parent, a spouse, or child of suspected offenders. The aim is to protect the institution of marriage. Marriage is sacred holy matrimony. The aim is to protect the institution of and values, meaning they have values, consequences of the community, and also get the rights of the public, the nation government, during government. And let us ask the very, very pertinent question: should it be a government's duty to set laws to uphold moral standards in a society? You know, every time we think about the basic role of government as providing security, providing food, basic amenities for the citizens, you know, creating a level playing ground for every business to thrive, protection of lives and properties, minimizing crime, and several other things that the government are meant to do. So when we elect leaders, we are electing them based on this premise. What would you do for us? How would you make our life better? How would you make our businesses better? Water, electricity, shelter, is that kind of going to impact what laws? Should it include upholding moral standards? In this my country, you will not have sex outside marriage. In this my country, you will not commit adultery. In this my country, you will not, do what we call the public and nation like this. Carry your infidel self to that nation. Don't carry your cohabiting self to that nation. 070-0923-0923 070-0923-0923. And then we also have the WhatsApp and Telegram number. It is 0809-030-6416 0809-030-6416. And then I think we're live on, we're live on Twitter. Twitter handle is @NigeriaInfoPH. Twitter @NigeriaInfoPH. And also on Facebook, it is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Now, when you call, do note that there is a call screener. She takes your calls first, and then she will pass you on to me in the studio, and we can have the conversation. Should it be a government's duty to set laws to uphold moral standards in a society? Away from all of the things government they're meant to do, they're meant to provide for the citizens. Should setting laws to uphold moral standards be one of them? Remember, yes. To what extent, Dorothy? If you can help us. Coco Mingi says government is the epitome of society, so everyone are required to play vital role. I see. Interesting. Now, Soki Fubara from Pachaka says that new law in Indonesia will pretty much help to curtail a lot. Nigeria got laws, but it's just the issue of the law. How far God, Nigeria talked all good afternoon and welcome to the side.
That there is a moral application to obey the law. As a young lawyer studying one of the universities, we were asked a question in logic and philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Is it by moral to obey the law, or is it by law to obey the law? I guess that is heavy, right? Philosophical. When you look at all the laws being enacted surface of this earth, which Magna Carta has been used as a precept, the law, all pay your bills, do this, don't do that. They are all moral. So if the government, which the Bible said shall be upon his shoulder in the book of Isaiah, then I think the laws of the land by moral should be enacted by the government. So the government is in the right position. Like the one you make a case study in Indonesia. I think we need that law also here in Nigeria.
Polygamous in nature. It means that almost all the husbands and all the men will be behind bars in no distant time, because somebody like Denise now will see my colleague that is with one woman in one place that I say, God, that is not his wife. What are they? They are hugging. Oh my God, they are hugging. What? No. Hello. I just saw a case of infidelity in Toba Junction. I mean, what are you saying?
We need it.
But wait.
Our standards as Africans. Check the days of our fathers when there was no immorality, there was no sex before marriage. Look at they are living their life. They are so responsible. There were no crime rates. See, do you know that the reason why there is crime today in the society is because of sex before marriage?
You have come, oh.
Check it properly. Sex before marriage, that the crime will reduce by 90% in this country.
Tell me exactly how. I'm interested in the how.
One reason people commit crime, one reason is to have money to beat their sexual partner. Either to go flex for a girl or to flex for a guy.
Wow.
Either to have money to impress somebody, it must be linked to something sexual. When man commit a crime, the proceeds, who they take it to? To please the sexual partner, not even his parents. There are guys who have money, they don't have their parents. There are ladies that have money, they don't have their parents, but they have their sugar daddies and sugar boyfriends or wherever. Is it not recently a sugar boy killed a sugar mommy because of money? No, look at it. The day we put this law, no sex before marriage, many people will go to church. Many people go to the shrine and serve their gods. They will go to the mosque and serve their Allah. People will start doing things accordingly. Do you know that some people, what pays their bills is sex, that pays their bills?
Yeah, I do know that. I do know that. So it means you are going to be spoiling some people's business. Is that the plan?
We need it, but it's destroying us. Do we sustain our business because it's affecting us illegally? No. We need the law. So we obey the law because of its boundaries. All the laws are moral. So we obey the law because it is moral to obey the law.
All right.
Not by law.
Okay. Mr. Zion says we need such laws in Nigeria because if we have the laws, it will minimize crime. And then he also, I'm glad he remembers that it is that act that actually puts food on the table of some person. And this is not justifying it. I mean, I'm saying that I've sat here for years, and for every time there's a conversation hinged around infidelity, a cheating spouse and all, I still hear people call to say, when women complain that men cheat, it's strange to the ears of such person because it is inherent in the nature of men to cheat. They're designed like that. They're designed to be territory takers. They're designed to be polygamous in nature. And you are saying that even with all of this notion, you want to have that kind of law enacted here in Nigeria because it will uphold moral standards. See, there are things I want to say, but if I say them, I'm sure this studio will catch fire today. I'm sure. But let's get back to the phone lines. Nigerian, good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the sunny side.
This is Dakuku from Abokiche, the spokesman of Iche.
Dakuku, you're welcome. Go ahead.
My good sister. Let me tell you, see that law. You are talking. I'm very, very happy that law can be put to the night in this country.
Oh, wow.
See that more. This was to reduce crime on other things. I get in my point because of that. Who wants to go?
Yeah.
So this is coming to the right. This is the one. They have not paid the bad price. It's 30, 40 years. Or when they come, you're able to be all around. We have to be paid the bad price. That's a problem. And any man who wants to stay with a woman have to go and pay. They have to put the life because if they stay with a woman, that person have to go there. What is that person and they have to go there?
But Dakuku, the ultimate question is it the duty of the government? Is it the duty of the government to enact such laws and uphold them? Can you hear me?
You know why most of them don't of that law is that most of them are into that thing. They are management, all these politicians, all these implement this is. They do that, but they are doing it. That's why if they do it, it will hang them on the neck. That's why they cannot do something else. But if that law can be functional, I'll be okay on it. I will be the highest person in this country.
That cuckoo. Do we? Let me just paint a picture. Do we necessarily need the government to come and tell us that?
With the government doing it, any law cannot be able to be held. Even if a community wants, when you did it, forward it to the government.
The people, hold on, Dakuku. I understand you completely. But the people that are engaged in this act, some of them are youth, some of them have parents, some of them come from families. You okay? So what is the family doing when it comes to bringing a child to be morally upright? Bringing up a child to be morally upright, so much so that they are not depending on the government to enact laws to ensure that the child is indeed upright.
Yes, listen, what I'm saying is, most of them come from the family, which their parents are there. Most of them, their parents are pastors or whatever. But the only thing is that most of them were able to run away from their parents. Instead of saying when their parents will be able to tell them these things to happen. But when the government implement on it, everybody will come there. Everybody will be the parents will become there. Everybody will be careful for themselves.
All right, thank you so much. Nigeria has how many ethnic groups? Please remind me. Over 700 and something, if I'm not mistaken. Different cultures, right? I hear that there is a culture in Nigeria that permits the husband to gift his wife to a visitor as a welcome package. Yes, now is it in Nigeria? Is it an African country? I don't know, but I heard of a culture like that states that when a man's friend comes to visit him, he wants to entertain the friend. Apart from food and other things, he can literally give the friend his wife to say, take my wife, enjoy him. I don't take and welcome you. Showing, yes, that's the word, hospitality. So if that kind of culture, if that is permissible in a particular culture in the same Nigeria, then there will be a fight between what the government wants to uphold morally and what the culture says. We still have traditional religion here in this country because we have freedom of anything as permitted by their culture too. That's why we have people serving different gods, as it were. If you now say, because you want to make the society morally upright, if my God permits that I should be sleeping with 100 virgins and I'm not married to them, and I'm in a country like Nigeria, and my government says that in itself is a crime, what then happens? Think about it. Isaac from D-Line, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead. Yes, Isaac. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yes. Why I call it is that there's a comment that you just made. I heard so many people saying that there's a particular place in Nigeria that if somebody said that they will entertain somebody, the person said we entertain with this what. And they lie. It's a lie. And for this Madam Mora, this thing, for me, I don't think the Nigerian government will be able to put a law concerning this. It's
not even whether the Nigeria government will or will not. The question is it their duty too? Should they leave every other thing they are doing, passing bills and all of that, and now start focusing on who is sexually moral or who is upright sexually and all that? Should it be their duty?
Yes, I think that is the duty of the government to the law on it if they want.
If they want, all right.
Not. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Isaac. Daniel from Meneka. Hi, Daniel. Welcome to the sunny side.
All right, Dennis.
Hi.
I think, as you rightly said, when issue like this comes up, definitely it's going to clash with culture. Because for some people, it's cultural. Because when we term moral is what is acceptable within that vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, even if government wants to come into that, that's a grand norm. Whatever thing you are doing that is affecting your neighbor negatively is not really okay. Hello?
I'm with you.
Yeah, whatever thing you are doing and is affecting your neighbor negatively is not morally okay. For instance, if your culture permits that you're going to marry 100 wives, definitely the culture will still specify that if you want to marry 100 wives, you should treat all of them equally. So if you can't do that, do not do it. Just even in the Islamic religion, it's okay. You have you can marry so many more wives, provided you can take care of them at the same level. You don't love one more than the other one. On this side of the world, maybe in the Christian religion, yes, they only permit one wife. But for government to come into it, it's going to be a very big fight. Like Indonesia, is it Indonesia or Taiwan that enacted the law?
Indonesia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's my take. It's going to clash with culture and a lot of things. Because what is good for you.
Okay, but then again, we also need to remember that government had to step in when it came to the what's it called now, the same sex relationships, right? That's why we have a law currently prohibiting same sex relationships.
That one is abnormal. It's nobody's culture.
Yeah. Okay. It's nobody's culture.
Nobody should wake up and say, this was our culture. It's not existing anywhere. It's just a new invention.
Okay. All right then. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We need to go in a commercial break. I think we have roughly about how many more minutes to round off this conversation? Because after trending stories, we'll have a live appearance, and then before you know it, the entire 1 o'clock hour to 2 o'clock hour is done. So do stay tuned to us. Keep your WhatsApp messages coming. I may not be able to take more calls, but I will definitely read all your messages. I see some on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Nigeria Info. Right back after
On Facebook now. George Endebo says government involvement in upholding moral standards. My question is, who's the government? Once we have morally upright citizens, those citizens will make up the government, and then government will advance the tenets of moral standards. But in a case where we have people who don't care about morality and they get into government positions, trust me, we will standard moral decadence. If we make concrete laws, it is the people that determines the government's posture. On WhatsApp, this one says, good afternoon. Those people that are saying that crime or cause because of sex is not true, because the government is our problem. No creation of job opportunities. Things are hard. Why will people not commit crime? Our government is the biggest. Our government is the biggest. Hold on, I'll come back to WhatsApp. Let me just take this tweet. This one is from hold on. This one is from Blue Kels, and it reads: if the family and religious units are up and doing, the government shouldn't even come in on issues of upholding moral standards. The family and the religious unit should be at the forefront of it, most especially the family unit. Okay, so it's up to the family to actually tell their children, sex before marriage is wrong. It's up to the family to tell their children, if this person is not your wife, you don't have any business with the person. If this person is not your husband, you don't have any business with the person. Right? I think so. I think that's what he means. This is a blatant lie. It never existed. I grew up in Benue State, a thief. I didn't mention any tribe, okay? Don't get me wrong. I said I heard. As to whether or not it's true, that's not what we are debating here. Please, don't get me wrong. I heard that there is a particular culture. Where the culture comes from, where it stems from, I didn't make reference to anywhere at all. Someone says, Denise, the Indonesian law will never work in Nigeria. Our lawmakers will front it and will front at it because them too, they... Besides, government don't have any business with side chick issues. Mr. K, send that in. And this other one says, governments will be infringing the rights of the people if they set laws to uphold moral standards. Moral standards is relative, by the way. It depends on what each society defines as moral. Let's take, for example, what is happening in Qatar. So the laws put in place at the World Cup, things that are normal for football lovers from other nations, are abnormal in Qatar. Okay, so we need to go on the news break. When we come back, I think we'll have roughly 5 more minutes. I should be able to take a few more messages and maybe one final call before we end this conversation. If you're just joining us, it is the Sunny Side in your number one station for talk, 90.3 Nigerian FM. We're talking government involvement in upholding moral standards in a society. This station to us. In the last hour, we started a conversation, and it was centered around the ban on sex outside marriage in Indonesia. Last Tuesday, they placed a ban outside sex marriage with a punishment for up to 1 year in jail. Despite worries the laws may scare away tourists from its shores and harm investment, the lawmakers approved a new criminal code which will apply to Indonesians and foreigners alike, and also prohibits cohabitation between unmarried couples. Currently, Indonesia bans adultery, but not premarital sex until, of course, this law. Now, Albert Aris, a spokesperson for the Indonesia's Justice Ministry, said the new laws regulating morality
to thrive in a fast-changing world.
Tune in to 92.3 Nigeria Info for the best of news, talk and sports 24/7.
Apologies for that. So the new laws regulating morality, I beg your pardon, were limited by who could report them, such as a parent, a spouse, or child of suspected offenders. The aim is to protect the institution of marriage and Indonesian values, while at the same time being able to protect the privacy of the community and also negate the rights of the public or other third parties to report this matter or playing judge on behalf of morality, he said. And I asked, should any government, should it be a government duty to set laws to uphold moral standards in a society? And I would like to make reference to one of the WhatsApp messages I had read earlier on, asking who is the government? Yeah, who is the government? At some point, they say the government is you and I. So you and I make up the government. You and I would one day be president, governor, local government chairman, councillor representing your ward or unit. What's it called now? Both appointed and elected. What is the content of character of the government? Is another question that needs answers. Okay, who are people involved in this immoral act, as we choose to call it? Think about it. So if everybody in the society is the same way, maybe the laws will be created just for formalities, but implementation, like someone rightly mentioned, I think that's where the problem usually lies. You know, policies and laws, they sound good to the ears. They're usually a welcome development, like we always say. Oh, it's a welcome development, but the problem usually would lie with implementation. When a child is born, before the child becomes an adult, there are people that are pivotal to the growth of that child. They raise the child to be whatever the child becomes to the larger society. And the family unit is the smallest unit, but it's the first environment the child is exposed to. So if you get it wrong at that time, do you think it is the government that is far away that will come and uphold morals for you and your household and your family? I don't know. My name is Liza Nswalu. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Up next, we have a live appearance, and thereafter it will be time for his story. I'll be back at the 2 o'clock hour for the final conversation on the sunny side. Think about it before we get to that time. Spending lavishly on infant celebrations. Is it really necessary and appropriate to spend lavishly on infant celebrations? So stay tuned.